Thank you, Pam. You set the scene beautifully. So you're all fired up about Sonic Pi now. You understand just how important it is and how even more important it's going to be. But at this stage, you understand what is it? What does it do? So I'm going to slow things down and take you step by step. So a few easy steps, just showing you how this stuff works. You start with a blank screen, okay? And as Pam said, if you want it to play something, you just type in the word play. Play. And I put play 60 there. And 60 is a MIDI note, and for those who understand MIDI, 60 actually equates to a middle C, okay? So, play 60, and when I press play, okay, press run, rather, it plays a note. Yay! And that is a C. So, I can then go on and think, I can add another note. So if I press play 64, say, that's going to play a note 4 semitones higher. So now when I do run, can you hear two notes there? The C and an E, yeah. Musicians in the room. And then I'm thinking sort of major triads, I guess. So if I now type play 67, yeah, and so on and so on. I can keep adding up. I'll just add one more. If I wanted to go up an octave from my original note, what number should I be typing in there? 72, yeah. 12 semitones above the original, and I should now have the full do, mi, so, do. Yeah, so it's as simple as that. You just type and then you put in mental notes. At the moment, it's stacking notes above one another, so I'm building up vertigo, I'm building up harmonies. If I wanted to turn it into a melody, I need to put some rests in between the notes. Well, how much of it sleeps? So if I just, after that, what's going to happen now is it's going to sleep for one beat, and I can do that with each of them. Okay, let's do it once more. And now when I play it, okay, so I can use simple coding to create sounds and silence, or gaps between sounds, if you like. And I can go on building and building my melodies in this way. Possible. I'm not going to do a lot more typing now, but what I'll do, because this is just like word processing, I'm just going to copy that and paste it, Control V, and then press the run button. You spot where there's a two-note chord in the middle of that. So there's not a sleep in between there. So I can have combinations of single notes and harmonized notes. I can also, in addition to altering the pitch of notes, I can alter the duration between notes. So at the moment, it's all 1 second sleeping between notes. If I were to alter some of those sleep values, so let's say down here, I made that 0.5, and say this one here, 0.5. Oops. What you'll hear now is slightly different. Okay? So I can use coding and numbers to talk about different intervals between notes and different durations between notes. So I'm working with pitch and rhythm. I can use it to create melodies. And there are people out there who are spending hours just sitting there recreating melodies, you know, Bach, L on a G string, G major, Manzarine, whatever. They spend hours creating this stuff. If I'm being honest, if I wanted to play a tune, I'd probably buy a recorder. It's going to sound better on a recorder. This is a bit like a sledgehammer to crack a walnut. It'll do it, and kids enjoy doing this, and they're learning about music making, they're learning about the distance between intervals in chords and scales, they're learning about, you know, half notes and quarter notes by using different sleep values. So if that sleep value was crotchet, or what we call a quarter note, That would be a quaver. I took it down to 0.25, it'd be smaller and so on. So they're learning a lot about music doing that, and they enjoy doing it. But it's not really tapping into the strengths of using a computer programming environment to make music. Let me show you something else. Yeah. Now, a kid who's been working with programs for a while can look at that coding and they'll know what it's going to sound like. And the way some of us train musicians, we can take a conventional score for a string quartet or whatever, and we say, yeah, I've got an idea what it's going to work like. So a kid would look at that. Actually, I'm just going to make the script a bit larger. And they would say, yeah, using a synthesizer here called hollow. That's like a sort of synth pad sound. It's a very sort of swirly synth. They put a bit of reverb on there, and the reverb dial has been turned to 7, so it can be a bit spacey and echoey. And they've got 3 loops playing there, 3 loops. And what the first loop is doing is choosing between a C or a G. Okay? And the computer will make the decision. Sometimes it will play a C, sometimes it will play a G. Attack of 2 means it will fade in slowly over 2 seconds, and the release means it will fade out over 6 seconds. So it's a long note that gradually fades in and very slowly fades out. That'll be a C or a G. And before it repeats that, it will leave a gap of 8 seconds. Okay? The second loop, choosing between a G or an E. This is G3 and E3. These are lower notes than those two, okay, from the octave below. Slightly different fade in and fade out times. Much shorter sync time on that one, okay? And then the third one, 2 lower notes, a C and a G. Again, different fade in, fade out times, different sync times. So when I press play now, simple coding, but what a sophisticated effect. Just listen to this. Oops. Somewhere between Brianino and Alvo Pert at the moment, aren't I, with this? And then I'm thinking, wow, this is good. The kids created this. How can I use this? 1 teacher, 1 machine, 30 kids. How can I use it in my lesson? Well, I can, because think about the notes it's playing. It's combining C's, E's, and G's. So that is like a C major chord. What if I altered one of those notes? What if I altered that C there and make that, what if I make that a B flat? I'm not going to press run yet, it hasn't changed it. What would the effect of changing that note be, class? Come on, class, tell me, what chord will I now be generating? Yeah, yes, I'll be creating a C7. So when I press the run button, put your hand up when you can hear the C7th coming in. C7th, yeah. So you can use it for oral training and also understanding how chords are constructed. That's a C7th chord. Where does the dominant 7th C7? Where does it want to go to? Where's it screaming to go to? F major, yes. So, okay kids, what's the smallest alterations I can make to these notes so that I get an F major chord? Well, an F major is F's, A's and C's, isn't it? So I could take that B flat down a semitone to A, that G, I'll probably take it down to F. So I want to move these as small a distance as I can. Again, that G there, I'll take down to an F below. This one here, I'm going to take it to an A. And I've got a C there, which I'm happy with. I might take that down to an F. Oops. F2. It doesn't change yet. When I press the run button, you'll hear that resolution, hopefully. Okay. Okay, who can tell me what 2 alterations I would have to make to that coding to change it from major chord into a minor chord? What two bits of coding when I need to alter? Who can tell me? A bit louder, Chris?
I used A flats.
Yes, that's right. So if I change that A there to an A flat, and I simply do that by putting B in front of it. Have we any more A's? Yes, we've got one there, haven't we? Okay. So they're learning about chord construction and chord progression in a very immersive, exciting environment. We're learning about harmony this way. Hands up when it goes minor. Yeah, this is such a great way to work with harmony. Okay, kids, I'm going to make one more alteration. You tell me what's happening now. You just have to watch what I do and tell me. Notice we're working with standard, well, the note names. I could have worked with the mini numbers and then they'd see how the mathematics of it works as well. So, I'm using coding here to do two things. One is composing.
So you can use numbers or letters?
You can use numbers or letters, or you can use a combination of both. And that's great, isn't it? Because if you want to understand, conventional harmony, you need to talk about the note names chord progressions. But sometimes the MIDI number is useful when you're wanting to talk about individual progressions. I've got one more thing I want to show you, which leads very nicely into fill session. So there it is being used in a very ambient way. Let me now build on something Pam was looking at earlier. Just talk you through what you're going to hear. You're going to hear it, and then you're going to help us with an ensemble performance of this. We're using a sample. It's a drum sample, okay? And this line, all that line is doing is making sure that everything plays in time with that sample. And it's a 4-beat sample, okay? The first thing you're going to hear is like a whoosh sound, and it just goes on and on the same way. You're going to get bored of it. But we're subtly changing the parameters so it keeps it fresh. And this is going to be like a drum and bass backing for the stuff that Phil's going to be getting you to do with them. So just to sort of finish with, let's have a listen to some of this. Some of the E minor stuff. It's probably goes to the A minor. There it is. Very big release times. This one's got much smaller. This is the effect of that when it comes in. Now, it brings staccato. Now, there's one other important thing here. Those note positions are chosen at random, and it'll just go on playing those particular riffs. By altering the random number there, I can get it to play same chord progression, but with a different riff. So I can actually, in real time, in live, if I alter that number 4 to say 42, it's a different riff. So listen out for that. The great thing about performing with Sonic Pi is so many times when people are performing technology on a laptop, you haven't a clue what they're doing, okay? You can just see their fingers and you hear stuff come out of speakers, and there's no connection between what they're doing and what you're hearing, and that's frustrating for an audience. Not so with Sonic Pi. You can see what's going on there, okay? And if once you understand the basics of the system, you will see that when I change that release time from 0.12 to 0.4, suddenly it's going to go really fat on us when I change the amps and so on. So watch the coding and listen to what you hear, and you'll make a connection between the two. And this was taken from, in exactly the same way that Pam was tweaking that Daft Punk file, I was tweaking one there. So two approaches to teaching, or working with kids working with Sonic Pi. One is to start from first principles and build something from a blank screen. The other one is to take an existing file, and the Sonic Pi community are very generously sharing all their work, give the kids a file, say do something interesting with that. You know, that's what we're doing now. Okay, Phil.
Thank you.